Hi, folks. It's coming from worldtruth.tv. China announced its world currency. Chinese do not plan to live in a world dominated by the US dollar much longer. Chinese leaders have been calling for the US dollar to be replaced with a primary global reserve currency for a long time. And now they've been very specific about what they would be put in its place. Many have assumed that Chinese simply wanted some new international currency to be created. But what if that is not what the Chinese had in mind? What if they have always wanted their own currency to become the single most dominant currency in the entire world? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop here for one moment because I've done videos about this. I've talked about how I believed that all the gold and silver boom rush in like the 2006 to 2009 era was created by the Chinese to pay off their debts that the Americans owed them, and the UK owed them, and all this other stuff. So I thought back then that this was a ransom system. So this is what it is, folks, at least to my knowledge. All right, so this guy's going to say that he arrived in Bangkok the other day, coming down motorway from the airport, and saw a huge billboard, and it basically came to him: world currency. I don't think I can. Yeah, I can click on it. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. So, new choice, the world currency, folks. Okay? The world currency. It's this thing. Given that the Bank of China is more than 70% owned by government of the People's Republic of China, I find this significant. It means that China is literally advertising its currency overseas, and it's making sure that everyone landing 1 foot in the world's busiest airport sees it. They know that the future belongs to them, and they're flaunting it, or at least they're attempting to believe that that is true. Everyone knows that China is rising, and most everyone has assumed the Chinese currency would soon play a role in international trade. But things have moved so rapidly in recent years now, a large chunk of the financial world actually expects the renminbi, people's money, to replace the dollar as primary reserve currency of the planet someday. And this came from CNBC. So, ladies and gentlemen, I could read you everything here, but the reality is, I've talked about this before. Uh, Russia has a deal with the Chinese, to have them help the Chinese, and Chinese to help them stabilize Russia, while basically the Western countries and most of NATO pretty much rapes and pillages their economy. So I have the URL here. You can view this yourself. And this is it, folks. I mean, this they finally announced their world currency. It's here. It may not be in circles yet, but it is here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay.